Hello again YouTube, and welcome at long last to the new pain cave. Yep, took a little longer to build than we expected. Started construction end of July and finished probably about 4 weeks ago. Now there were various reasons for that, not least of which was this crisis that seems to be looming in the construction industry where people just can't get wood and basic materials. One of the things that really held us up was the bifold doors we have in the front of the building here, where apparently the company making them couldn't get the aluminium to make the frames out of, and then they lost the glass. I mean, it's quite small, you could lose that, couldn't you? But anyway, we're in. Let me give you a quick look round. So we've got the garden room section set up as the new pain cave. I've got my weights bench in there, my watt bike, lovely 55-inch TV, fitted to the wall over there with an Apple TV 4K behind it. I've got the 2021 version of the Apple TV 4K, and I've got some thoughts on that which I'll share in a separate video. Let me take you into the shed. Now the shed section is smaller than I had before, but funnily enough I end up with kind of the same amount of room. The great thing is that I've now got some racking in there I built myself that takes all of my toolboxes and means I can get to them very easily, and I've got a much more compact workbench. So at this point I'd just like to say I'm sorry I've been away for so long. I've never really had a very robust upload schedule, if I'm honest, but I was kind of getting there. I was getting one every week and then sort of one every week and a half. But over the last 4 weeks, that completely went out the window. And there are a few reasons for that. Let me tell you about those. So let me begin with, I actually did some of the work on the structure myself. Now my builder, for some reason, I don't know why, didn't want to put noggins into the walls and roof of the building. And I felt that they needed them. And he was insistent that a wall under 3 meters doesn't need noggins. What he wasn't allowing for was that the back wall is 5 meters and the side walls are 3 meters and the roof is 5 meters. So why weren't there noggins? Anyway, he wasn't going to do it and I wasn't going to labour the point because life's too short, so I did it myself over the August bank holiday weekend, which was a proper good working weekend for me, not having all of the tools that he has available to him, such as a lovely big chop saw and stuff like that. It was a much more manual task for me, but thoroughly enjoyable and quite rewarding into the process. Now I know if there are any builders watching this, you might side with him, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's my building at the end of my garden. I've got to live with it for the next God knows how many years. And I just want a little bit of peace of mind of knowing that there is some strength in that structure. And before you go killing me, here's just some pictures of the first fix on the electrics that I took after the so-called electrician had left. So there's that. But the big news is we've got a new addition to the family. We've got this lovely boy here, Hector. He's a 3-year-old Sprocker Spaniel, and he's just wonderful. Now, you will probably have seen Rosie floating around in the background of my other videos, and Rosie's been a little princess in her own little castle for the last 5 years. So introducing Hector was always going to have some challenges. So a lot of my time has gone into just being with these guys, you know, just making sure that they can settle together, live together happily, and a lot of that has been sort of upping the walking ante with them. So Rosie always used to get a good walk in the morning, probably 2 or 3 miles. But now these two collectively, we all go out for about a 5.5 mile walk every morning, which is nice. And that has had a consequence. It's kind of shoved my morning training regime to the evenings. So I'm going to come on to that as part of this video. But it's been absolutely wonderful to bring Hector into the family, and he's really settled. Rosie's getting on fine with him now, but you know what? It just takes work. And I do have to marvel at all of these kind of dog whisperer programs where some guy walks into a room and goes, "Stop being a silly lad," and the dog sits down. And everyone thinks it's so wonderful and easy, but trust me, dogs take time and patience. They don't have the vocabulary that you or I have, so you need to just be with them, work with them, take time with them and be patient with them, and that's all it takes. So as I said there, you know, I've had a complete shift from being somebody who used to train before work to being somebody who now trains after work. And it's been a really interesting experience for me. Like I say, I've never really been a fan of training after work. That's kind of a mindset I've developed over the last probably 6-ish years. But I threw my mind back to when I first started getting into fitness. And when I think back, when I first lost a lot of weight, and I was somebody who went from kind of 25 stone, completely halved my body weight. And when I think back to those days, all of my training was done after work. I mean, it was, I was working in the city, so I'd come in the evening, go to the gym, or more often than not, I'd jump on a mountain bike and go around the local woods. So, I kind of got me thinking about, well, what was different then? Why was I losing weight then and why aren't I losing weight now? And I think, if I'm completely honest, it's the morning training that's kind of shot me in the foot to a degree. Now, I'm the sort of person that if I train in the morning, I tend to come in, upload to Garmin Connect, look at Garmin Connect and think, wow, that was a really good bike ride, 1,200 calories. And then I'll spend the rest of the day kind of using those 1,200 calories I've burnt, using it to justify, I'm just going to have like a Mars bar with lunch or bag of crisps in the afternoon. But more often than not, if I'm completely honest, what I do is shut down from work, decide I need to chill out, wander over the local shop, get 4 beers and then drink them in the evening because I had nothing else to do. But of course, it's different now because I get out early in the morning with Rosie and Hector. We have a lovely long walk, so I get to do all the wonderful morning stuff I like doing, seeing sunrise and stars, and Rosie's tapping on the window to remind me. And I get out whilst there aren't people around, and that's wonderful. But then in the evening, I hit a really hard, short, sharp session on the watt bike, and then I'll jump on the weights bench here, and I'll do some weights. And what I find is that, by the time I've done all that, I just really want to go inside, sit down, have something to eat and chill out. I'll be completely honest, I do still have a glass of wine or a beer with dinner. But the difference is I'm not doing it all evening. I'm just like sitting down, I'll have a beer or a glass of wine with dinner, and that's it, one and done. Whereas before, I'd just sort of like chill out and sit in my office, have a beer, maybe another. And then before I know it, the 4-pack's gone. It really wasn't a good thing for me. So if I'm completely honest, I think, the shift to training in the evenings will do me some good over time, in that it reduces the temptation and justification that I used to use throughout the day to eat crap, drink crap, and just generally, not look after myself. So thanks for watching this one, YouTube. I'm definitely going to be back on track with the upload schedule now, and I've got some things coming up I'd like to talk about. I've in the new Pain Cave here, I've just fitted the latest version of Apple TV 2021. So I've got some thoughts on that with Zwift, and I'll be trying it with the other apps that I use on there as well, RGT, Full Gas. So there's some reviews coming up on that. But more interestingly, I was recently approached by a light company, and they asked me if I'd like to be a brand ambassador for them, which means I'm going to get to test some funky new lights. And that's quite good timing as these days get shorter and we have more reason for a light on the bike. Anyway, thanks for watching this one, YouTube. Catch you in the next.